There's only one Music City, USA, Nashville, Tennessee, where you could find the next country music star playing at 1 a.m. somewhere on Broadway. Sure, the bright lights are newer, but Nashville has been a national music hub since the 1920s. One of the people who's helping it grow is living the dream he's had since he was a kid in Fayetteville.
If my father was probably an attorney or a banker or something like that, he probably would have scratched his head when I said I'm going to Nashville to be a musician.
Mark Wright sits in a Nashville office with walls lined with platinum plaques. He has over 40 million album sales to his name as president of Show Dog Universal, a music label founded by music icon Toby Keith. He remembers when he knew he wanted to be in music.
When I was probably 12, my dad would take me down to Guy Singer's music store on the square in Fayetteville, and I just really started trying to figure out how they made these records and how they would arrange the music and who would write it.
Eventually, he became that person, writing for
Lee Ann Womack and Brooks and Dunn and Mark Chestnut and George Strait and Alabama and Kenny Rogers.
And that's just naming a few.
I'd rather be saying yes and no than please and thank you. And so you just started making some of the decisions. So if you're creating the music and also involved in the decisions, you have a little more to, you kind of get to keep your hands on your own material. You kind of get to watch it go down the field and hopefully cross the goal line.
Felt my heart beating faster.
Not everyone is at the top. Actually, most are still working to get there.
Every time it rained.
Like Conway native Erin Enderlin.
When I drive down on Broadway, sometimes I'm like, really? I really live here? I really do this? And really have had songs on the radio and get to play shows.
The lifelong singer-songwriter is still taking in the whole Nashville experience.
Tennessee is a lot like Arkansas in a lot of ways too, so it keeps me from getting too homesick.
She's been away from home since 18 years old, and she's had her songs performed by Luke Bryan, Randy Travis, Alan Jackson, and more.
When I was growing up, I was kind of shy and still am somewhat, but when you have music there, it's like all of a sudden you have a connection with people, and it makes it a lot easier to just reach out and create those friendships and just share your life stories with people.
The two are some of a growing number of Arkansans flocking to follow their dreams in Nashville.
There's quite a few out here. I mean, it's amazing.
For Enderlin, she says her rising Nashville stardom wasn't easy to get, but it doesn't have to be unique.
It can be kind of intimidating sometimes. Somebody is going to hand you a guitar and say, why don't you play us something? And it's probably going to be somebody that you grew up listening to, or you know their songs and stuff, and you might think, how am I going to do this? You just do it. Just follow your passion.
So when you take a stroll down Broadway, you could come across the next big thing in Music City, and you can always find someone not too far from home.
I'll always do it. I'll always make music. I don't know if I'll always get paid to do it, but I'll always make music.